15 lines. $30. $30-15.
The tactics of Murray are always interesting, Patrick, because he can play so many different ways.
I think he has to use a little bit of everything tonight. Keep Djokovic guessing. Play aggressive at times, as he's done on these last 2 points, Chris, but also at times play a little possum, the way Gilles Simon did.
30.
Sort of taking the air out of the ball.
To do that consistently requires so much energy, and you wonder about that, the doubt he would have in his ability to stay the course if it becomes really physical and long. After a quick start, Djokovic now faces an early break point.
30-40.
You expect breaks of serve when these guys play. They're both so good on the return. And this would be important for Murray with this first set. Everybody believes so vital for him.
Well, to back up what he just said, you look at the second serve at point one for both guys. Djokovic first on tour the entire year last year. Murray second on tour. Second serve point, return points won. That's going to be an absolutely crucial stat to follow tonight.
Out.
And it's long. The one win for Murray in the last 11 was the match that was talked about. The guys pre-match, the win in Montreal. Tough match. Murray was able to create lots of break chances, had to fight off a lot of break points in hot, windy conditions. Can he create anywhere close to that many openings tonight? But went after that backhand.
Yeah, that's what Darren was talking about, and that's a shot where I think Murray can really do a lot of damage and step into that ball, lean into it. It's easier for Murray to take the ball earlier off the backhand wing than it is off the forehand, and that was a great hit. Took it early. Look at the depth there, a lot of pace. Forced a mistake.
Murray, a long look at the mark. Unless says he believes it was good. So Djokovic holds, staring down one break point very effectively. And now for Murray, the first of so many tests tonight, and just avoiding the early break from Djokovic, who does it so often and so effectively.
Well, the start that Djokovic had against Federer was just remarkable. Completely took Federer out of his comfort zone early.
First set was what, about 22 minutes?
Yeah. Boris Becker has had his share of success right here at the Australian. Won it twice here, 6 times winning a major.
25 years ago, in fact, the silver anniversary, after he got past a guy named Patrick McEnroe in the semis.
A big win there. Yeah.
For Maresma, by the way, it's her 10th anniversary of the championship here.
To me, those are the kind of points that Murray's got to avoid, getting into that pattern where he's pushed behind the baseline and Djokovic is controlling that center and moving him. Obviously going to have to do a lot of running and defending, but he wants to play as much offense as he can.
Pretty fond memories of Novak, because the side of his first ever Grand Slam match back in 2005. It was on center court at Rod Laver Arena against Murat Safin.
Not a very good result, if I recall.
Trying to forget the result, but the experience he remembers.
Yeah. Well, he's had a lot of breakthroughs here. Obviously won it as a 20-year-old. His first Grand Slam title. And unbeatable down here when he reaches the semis, much less the final.
There's that quick strike from Djokovic off the return. His dad made the trip.
It's actually his uncle.
Yeah, his uncle, sorry.
Yeah. Taking a photo already.
Yeah, it's early.
Wow.
For his dad.
Yeah, I'll send that back, no doubt.
I'm here.
What a defensive one-handed backhand from Djokovic. Fighting off that big shot. Now it's Murray in early trouble.
Sort of feel that coming, couldn't you, when he stopped midway through that service motion, a little tension, and understanding how devastating Djokovic can be on the return on the second.
Not able to grab the break chance in the opening game. Went for his biggest serve of that game when he was break point down, but that second serve frailty already a factor. Murray pushed way back, and despite his speed, couldn't get near that one.
And, you know, you talked about the improvements in Djokovic's game. This is another one. Step in when he knows that he had Murray back and play the drop shot. Not only does that work now, but that helps him as the match goes on, because Murray now knows he's got to defend against that play.
$30. 40
Early signal being sent from Novak. Murray muttering to himself already. Djokovic knows what to do with an early break, doesn't he? Stretch it.
3 games to love.
All right, time now for the IBM insights for each player based on the head-to-head, analyzing some of the many appearances they've had here on this court. One stat for each guy.
Well, we have plenty to choose from with these guys, so similar for both. Win more than 63% of the 4 to 9 shot rallies for Djokovic. Look at that likelihood of winning the set. 9 out of 10, 92%.
Expect these guys to play plenty of long rallies. Djokovic really in this tournament from the third round on hasn't been as dominant back there as you'd expect him to be. Struggled against Simon, a lot of mistakes. Those long rallies. For Murray, first serve return points.
Yeah, 42%.
That's a big ask.
That's a big. That's why it's 80%. It's high if he can do it. So we shall see. It was kind of interesting, though, Chris, as I combed through all those numbers for those insights, of which there's a lot of options, particularly with these two guys. Always the percentages for Djokovic, the likelihood, always seem to be a little bit high. It's like when you break down that football game, you know, between the, okay, and, you know, the computer says 79% chance that this team's going to win. This was all the numbers in favor of Djokovic. But then again, they were all in favor of Serena, right? Against Kerber. But more importantly than any of the numbers, what's happening on the court right now is all Djokovic. It's early, but Murray, to me, hasn't even found his legs at all.
And a little look over from Novak across to his coaching camp, and a nod of the head from Novak. He is dialed in.
Yeah, Murray, they're very subdued on his side, and I agree, not a lot of explosive moving yet.
And not a lot of explosive hitting either. His ball doesn't seem to be jumping. Djokovic is. That slice is working nicely. That's caused a couple errors. There's the doubles champ, Jamie Murray, on the right.
He and Bruno Suarez on this court until the wee hours, and Murray coming across Andy to be there taking pictures of the presentation for his older brother. Told him, go home, get to bed. You've got a match tomorrow. This one's getting away in a hurry.
Well, they put this first set to bed pretty quickly.
Yeah. 16 minutes. Novak's taking on these top guys. The semis, it was Federer and now Murray, and like dusting him off in the opening set in like 20-25 minutes. It's scary.
This might be quicker than the set against Federer. So much for 2 hours for the first 2 sets at this rate. You can see, part of Murray's game plan. We could see it's to take some cuts on the second serve. So that actually was a pretty good return. And immediately Djokovic turned the point around. And then as soon as he got this shot to hit, that was off the return. As soon as he then got this one to hit, point was over.
We get some combination of Novak's clean hitting and Murray looking really a little sluggish, leg weary. This was the worry off that match against Raonic, that he finally wore the big Canadian down, but had to work beyond 4 hours.
And only had the 1 day off, whereas Djokovic has had 2 days off. Well, the numbers since they started doing that, it's 7-7 for the person that gets the 2 days off to 1 day off. But in this case, there's no doubt that Djokovic is as fresh as can be. 21-6 in points. Never ever see that between. This is the 1 and 2.
Yeah.
This is an Andre Agassi against Arnaud Clément. With all due respect to Arnaud, is a nice player. So is Rainer Schuttler, another guy that Agassi beat in the final. This is Andy Murray
in his 9th major final.
Let's proceed.
Oh my goodness. That's on the line, and it's 5-0 in 19 minutes. Djokovic with a resounding opening statement in the first 20 minutes. And you look back at the way the final finished on this court last year. Novak's now taken 14 consecutive games from Murray here at Rod Laver Arena. Think Andy is aware of that?
I would think so.
14 straight.
Please.
Another example of how good Djokovic is on the return. Huge first serve there, 127. He gets his racket on, gets it back.
The last 6 love set
15 seconds.
in this head-to-head was 8 years ago, way back in 08 in the clay Monte Carlo for Djokovic. None of the major collisions between these two has seen a first set anything like this. Not close.
30 all.
First ace for Murray.
No, that's nice. Need something to get him going. The set is pretty much a lost cause, but needs to send some sort of signal.
Get some energy, get his legs
40
going.
seconds.
Absolutely. Good defense there. He got right out of the corner quickly.
Thank you.
Djokovic, he can't believe he's losing points now.
Come on from Murray. Finally some emotional engagement here as he does snap that string of 14 in this court. Lost to Novak in a row.
I guess also the only really good news if you're in the Murray camp is this opening set has not been physical. Might have been to his chances if this was a 1 hour 10-minute first set and he loses at 7-5, 7-6. At least physically he's going to be feeling fine.
All you great coaches are able to put a silver lining
Just
on a
trying there,
beat down
Chris.
of a first set.
I remember saying that when he got the Federer match the other night too.
That's Novak is so good now that even the top guys are kind of grasping for a silver lining.
15 left.
I mean, there wasn't much Federer could say after that match. I mean, the guys played outstanding tennis the last 12 months. Arguably playing as a number 2. Okay, he's ranked 3 now, but he's right there with Murray, neck and neck.
Think about the way that he can come out and start a match. Nadal was playing good tennis in Doha. Really had pretty good form, felt comfortable, felt pretty confident. Not as good a drop shot that time. Djokovic could have won that set 6-11, 6-1. But talk about setting the tone for the match, and ended up being a straight set rout.
15 all.
So think about the last set against Nadal, first set. That's first set against Federer, and now this.
Statements everywhere. Watch Federer play a very good match to beat Thomas Berdych in straight sets. Wow, I mean, how can he keep doing it? He's 34. He's playing great. And all of a sudden, it's like buzzsaw.
Remarkable also is the net clearance from Novak on his forehand. It's just a couple of inches. He is absolutely hammering the ball, not with much spin, but his timing is perfect.
And he makes doing that in back-to-back rounds against great players look easy. As Djokovic, everybody else has had adjectives and run out of them. So what's your description of the first couple sets against Roger? Wouldn't even go there. He said, don't make me think. He didn't want to think about that because it's an impossible standard to reach. I think he wanted to put that his match as great as it was, put that away.
Well, he did
begin to focus on this one.
Yeah, as Brad said, they came here to win this title, meaning he and his team when he talked to Coach Becker.
Now gets to that drop shot, but Djokovic with the easy reply, and he's working on Murray physically if he can in this first set, even though it's been a quick set.
Yeah, I think in addition to that, tactically, as again, he's letting Murray know, as Darren said, he's hitting the ball so cleanly. That makes this even more effective because Murray's on his heels. And he read that perfectly, knowing that Murray had to go cross court with that.
2 set points. It's one of the few second serves that Novak just kind of laid in there and not well directed.
Trying to kick it out wide, but Murray just had to take one little step and ripped it.
Dominant starts with Djokovic. He can make this the 4th 6-1 opening set at this Australian Open. Can he add Murray's name to the list that includes Federer in the semis? Well, the good news for Murray is it's the best game he's played so far. He's into the points. His legs are starting to get under him. Starting to hit the ball a bit cleaner.
Advantage Djokovic.
Half hour of dominance from Djokovic. Ominous opening set for Murray, who's never beaten Novak after losing the first set. 0-17.
Second set, Murray to serve.
And what's Andy Murray thinking? Well aware that he's never been able to conquer this man after losing the first set, and it was a dominant one. Trying to get himself going.
Yeah. He knows he has to at this point. Start off this second set.
He's talked about, the anxiety that he's felt often in this tournament. Of course, the collapse of his father-in-law, part of that, and had to get out so much negativity. We really haven't seen a whole lot of positive emotions, except when he turned that match around against Raonic. I think that's one of the things that maybe helped him get control of that match, even before Milos got hurt.
Absolutely.
All the bickering and the moaning from the earlier rounds really went away in the semifinal. point by far. And Murray trying to get his emotions going.
I mean, that was basically the way the entire first couple of sets were last year. Points like that consistently.
And you have to recover from a point like that, and the legs were screaming, and it was a battle, very different from what we've seen so far. But maybe it's heating up.
Just to follow up also first to those emotions that we've been seeing for Mandy. His camp has been saying not having Kim, his wife here, has been difficult for him, and especially the fact that she's 38, 39 weeks pregnant at the moment. That has not been easy for Andy, and it's part of the reason you've seen the frustration.
He wasn't sure about how that break in the routine and the rhythm of a Grand Slam would affect him. Interesting to hear that he says it's been tougher than he thought it would be.
Great pass there from Djokovic, got it down low. He knows how much speed he has, so he knows he doesn't have to hit the outright winner on that first pass. Kept it low and won him the point.
And after that serve, his biggest at 131.
40 seconds.
You'll hear a cheer, I think, if Murray can get a lead in this set.
Yeah.
Let's go inside the point.
Well, we talked about this at pre-match as Brad talked about it, controlling the center of the court. And this is what Djokovic has been able to do, and pushing Murray further behind the baseline. That opens up a lot more options for Djokovic. So he plays the drop shot there. Here again, taking the ball earlier, penetrating, not overplaying at all. Routine point there. And that forces the error. Look at the shot placement off the forehand side, opening up the court, spreading it out.
Look at the difference in velocity.
Yeah,
That's a big difference.
That's a lot.
Crowd trying to pull Murray and back into this thing and give them a match. Just slid it wide. Hard work by Murray to get into that point.
No doubt.
Clearly out.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
No doubt, says Ramos.
He's a veteran.
15 seconds.
He's
Confirmation.
He's umpired a major final every major. That's Carlos Ramos.
For good reason.
Yeah, he's been around the block. Such a great shot there from Djokovic. That's a pretty tough ball to get under and to bring it up and down. And Djokovic makes it look easy. Watch this. Well, that set up the easy volley, but the approach, he got under it. A lot of spin right inside the line.
Wouldn't every player love to have volleys as easy as the one that Djokovic is able to create? I mean, I could make that. Novak and you want to come to the net, he makes you play so many tough volleys.
49.
So quick and such amazing balance on the run. Racket work. I mean, he's got it all.
And really, the only time you should be coming to the net against Novak is when he takes a hand off the racket to play a defensive slice. And how many times has he done that on the stretch? Barely any.
Djokovic.
One game all. Well, tonight at 7 Eastern on ESPN, it's the Pro Bowl presented by USAA. Team Michael Irvin takes on Team Jerry Rice.
Good for the receivers.
Aloha Stadium.
Yeah.
Mike Tirica and John Gruden in the call. Tonight on ESPN. And then Mike's watching our tennis coverage
We
from
stopped
Hawaii.
there on the way back. It might be nice. Break up our trip. Stop in Hawaii.
It's an idea.
We make it in time.
It's an idea. And you wait a bit for a plane. Not that common an occurrence over the stadium.
No. Thought I was at the U.S. Open for a second. There'll be a roof there this year, too.
Hallelujah. The Australians would say we still got three.
Yeah.
Three.
It's amazing. Man, that's rain earlier this tournament. We had 3 matches going on at once
Love
with rain. It was incredible.
Wimbledon's going to have 2 in a few more years. #1 court. Murray has not been able to count on his serve at all tonight.
Not even the first serve.
No.
A
lot more of those.
Yeah.
You know, I thought from the very first game when Novak was returning, he was anticipating. He was almost moving to a spot and reading the serve really well. Like he'd done a whole lot of studying as if he hadn't played him enough.
Right. I mean, you watch his return position. It's amazing. I mean, we focused on this on Raonic, right? How he's changed his return. Yeah, it was a really interesting piece our guys did, you know, analyzing the return position of Raonic and debating the legs, and he's changed his whole thing. And you watch him take all these little steps. A lot of players do that. Watch Djokovic when he returns. He barely moves at all. He does a slight little split step, but he's got that wide base. He's so strong in the legs and so quick to react. Just focus on his return right now. Just watch his legs. He doesn't bounce around. It's that wide stance. Little tiny bounce. Look at that. And then he hits the ball early every time, especially on the second serve, and clean. I mean, look at this position. Barely any movement at all. Body straight, a little bounce there, couple little stutter steps just away from the ball. Give himself room. That's textbook.
Becker was asked, is Djokovic a better returner than the guys you faced who were great in that department? Guys like Agassi and Connors. He felt it was tough to compare, Patrick. Get back in those days, the returner had to deal with lots of guys coming forward. It was a different kind of return. You'd go for winners. Now, of course, you see relatively few return winners, but Novak's so good at the forceful deep return that he wouldn't come out and say that
He was
Djokovic was better
right.
than the guys in the past.
We know that those guys have a lot of pride, you know, in what they did, and they should. Agassi was, to me, a better offensive returner. And Djokovic gets way more balls back. There's another one of those low balls, Chris. It's sliding low, and this time he goes back up the line with it, with the forehand.
And he is snapping that wrist on the forehand tonight, getting a lot of action. And you can see, as we showed you, hitting it harder by 10 miles an hour than Murray, and deeper.
And taking it earlier. He needed that.
He needs a lot of lucky breaks, I think, at the moment.
Deuce.
Djokovic might give you a couple of unforced errors at 40 love or 40-15, but when the score is close, very rare that he gives you anything. That's unbelievable. We should patent that shot. The Djokovic sliding backhand on the run.
That sick left wrist.
Every other player in the world has to take a hand off the racket to play this, not Novak.
I mean, look at that. He slid right into the shot as he made contact. Watch this. You want to know he does all that stretching and flexibility? That's why.
Great point. Anytime he gets the wrong way.
I don't think he's guessing, Chris. I mean, he like you said, he
read it the wrong way.
Yeah,
then
he reads it. I mean, he anticipates. Even that, he got his racket on it.
Right. I noticed him just sort of moving a little bit before the ball struck. And that's a poor miss.
Advantage Djokovic.
Three for 10 on second serves on the match is Murray.
Sometimes Murray's defense earns him the point. Novak trying to be relentless right now. He senses if he can get this break that Murray's resolve might weaken a little bit more. Having to work so hard just to try to hold for 2-1. Again, a forehand miss puts him in a break point hole here.
Well, he's trying to play offense. And at the moment, just far too many unforced errors. 18 now.
Let the serve.
It's a quality smash. Djokovic was 15 feet behind the court and still had to fight it off.
Credit to Murray, went for the forehand again after missing. That's very similar shot twice in this game.
Backhand drill.
Yeah, smart by Djokovic there. He took pace off the ball. Again, because he's pushing Murray so far back, and he's doing it right off the second serve return. He's played the drop shot a couple of times to very good effect, and then that time he just dipped the ball short and made Murray come forward. See if we get this. He pushed him back there, and then he just rolls it short, and Murray's reaching for it.
Time violation given by Carlos Ramos as Murray stares down a fourth break point in the game. 10-minute game. Oh boy, now a heckler. Heckler saying, take a bit longer, Murray. That's just what he needs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? That could get him pumped up. He needs a cause sometimes. He needs something to bring out that feisty side.
Well, the longer this game goes, the bigger it gets for Murray. Be able to hold.
He's at a couple aces in the game. He's not played these deuce points well, though. That's why we're still in this game. I think it's a game point.
Yeah, put a little more on that second serve. A little bigger and a little deeper. So he was able to keep Djokovic at bay a bit with a good second. Something he has not been able to do often. Big hold right there.
Huge hold. They worked hard to do it.
Well, this is a new trick that we have that I really like, Chris. We showed this with Federer and Dimitrov earlier in the tournament. Now watch this. We talk about the ability to take the ball earlier. Look at Djokovic. Look at the amount of time it takes him to execute the forehand. Now a very similar shot for Murray. Notice he's slightly further back, so that's part of it. It takes him, look, 0.64. That's a big difference. And when you compound the fact that they're doing this each and every point repeatedly, and I would like to, if we could somehow see that on the backhand too. It might not be as big of a difference, but I bet it's still Djokovic able to take the ball early. Look at the speed. That's a huge difference.
Why is it a big difference? Just that he executes it, about 20% faster.
It's because he can, first of all, he takes the ball earlier every time. So that means that the opponent has to react that much quicker every time. And he needs less time to react. And how do you get that? You get that because you have amazing technique on your shots. Your swing is shorter, more compact, and your timing is a little bit better, or you can do it quicker. Now, I think on the backhand you can see Murray, the two-hander could get back and take it pretty early.
15 all.
Tend to think of Djokovic as being so composed at this stage of his career that he's immune from the normal tennis player stuff of being unable to convert one of those 4 break chances. For a lot of players, that would make this a really tough hold. Even up a set. He didn't look too stressed.
No. He talks about all the work that he puts into it, the physical, the preparation, the diet, and the mental.
I think the spiritual, too.
Yeah,
that's a part of it for him as well. Some suspect it is, and we'll talk about this, but there's some kind of a guru somewhere in the camp or that he consults with to help him through things, and he's very frank talking about the strength of his conviction versus the doubts. He's been able to quiet the doubts almost all the time, or at least manage them, because he says it's a part for every tennis player, no matter how accomplished or how good you are. Pretty comfortable hold, and the pressure right back on Murray.
Yeah, well, I mean, another quick routine service game, and well, Djokovic not necessarily serving as hard as Murray. His serve is much more effective so far because he's continuing to hit his spots to mix it up.
Just missed it. You almost think he's going to make every pass.
I know, right, on the dead run.
30.
And what I think everyone in this stadium would agree is an essential set for Murray to win, to have a chance. He would love to have a comfortable hold, save some energy. He's been able to make few inroads on Djokovic to serve. Just 1 break point tonight. That was the first game.
And even when he's getting ahead in some of these service games, you think, okay, he might finally get an easy hold. You know, Djokovic, again, he's just putting the clamps on. He's not letting him win. Get that K40 love. Win an easy game. That'll help. Picked up a serve in this set. That's his 5th ace this set. Only had 1 in the first set.
40-15.
Look at the stuff fly off that ball. What a point. Novak absolutely bricked the overhead.
He's human.
Murray shows some good fight and goes back in front. 3-2 on serve. An hour of play so far. The first set took a half hour. Much longer, more competitive games here in the second. Murray doing well to hold 3 times, trying to create inroads in a Djokovic service game. Hasn't been able to yet. so hard to break down his defense.
At least we're starting to hear him grunt a little bit. Djokovic's finally having to work.
Old-time players, why not come forward? He had Novak push way back, but I guess you have to respect the passing shot skills that much.
It's hard to chip and charge these days unless, you know, unbelievable chip. Have to work the point. Ask Serena how that worked out for her coming in on the wrong balls in her final. Really cost her.
Coming in on the wrong shots and then not covering cross-court enough.
The players with these rackets and the strings have the ability now to get the ball down a lot easier. Spin it.
The last point, though, was a real positive for Andy, because really that was the first time that he had control of the point, lost control of the point, and then restarted. Even though he lost it, a lot of positive signs from his game. And Novak would not be worried about that risky return of serve there. I'm sure he would be happy to give those types of returns to Andy, because that is very risky.
This is the first even little bit of a look since that first game.
And the first sign of frustration from Djokovic, who just spiked a ball. Had chances in Murray's service game at 1-all to really get a firm grip on this final. Maybe a little frustration beginning to build. Rare lead for Murray in a Novak serve game.
It's too risky.
Yeah, poor decision there. Yeah.
It's a lot of those so far in this match, and that's why I like the first point so much, is because he played a heavy point, but he played it controlled, and he forced Novak to come up with an incredible shot.
Djokovic fired up now, yelling to his camp.
Well, Murray tried to dig in there and play some defense and move the ball around, just mishit that forehand. He has the ability to grind. You know, he can grind with Djokovic. Obviously, for how long is a question, but letting an opportunity slip away here.
Heavy hitting from Murray.
And a look from Murray down the court there at Djokovic.
We finally have an intensity level worthy of a Grand Slam final on both ends.
It's picking up. Watch this look from Murray. There it is.
Let's listen.
It's hard to set the approach up.
And he started to get the tempo of the points to go his way a bit. He's just not able to finish. Was right there in position, had to move quickly. Should have made that. Yeah, I think Murray's got to just say, I'm going to try to outlast him right now, because he's been able to do it a few points in this game.
Outlast him, he's also hitting the ball much harder.
Also mixing it up a little as well. You see a really flat, hard backhand. The next one he comes in with a low slice. Then he'll put a little air on the ball. A lot more variation in Andy's game.
Advantage, Djokovic.
On. 3 games all. And we're still not able to create a chance to break in that game.
Djokovic deciding to go to the freshly strung racket now.
I think right in the middle of the ball cycle.
He's got a lot of rackets on the ground there as well, and the sun has dropped, so the temperature in the air has dropped maybe 5 or 6 degrees. We're 56, 57 degrees. We were at about 63, 64, so conditions a bit slower now.
Still 3 games to go in this cycle of ball. Don't see a player change very often at this point. Murray cannot afford any drop in his intensity now.
Well, Murray struggling mightily on the first serve and the second serve. If you look at his serve direction, it tells part of the story. A couple of aces thrown in there, and it's been a lot better in the second set, but not hitting his spots well enough, not hitting the corners well. That's just the first serve. The second serve has been a disaster for him. 5 of 15 points he's won. That was his 3rd double.
59.
Just get the feeling, Patrick, that unless Novak starts donating a bit, Andy's going to need an ace or 2 in each service game just to hold. Well done.
30-15.
It's that backhand cross that is starting to get him ahead in a lot of these points. Very similar to the tactic he used in Canada. It's been his best play so far.
Another huge backhand cross court there, but just not able to finish it. There's no harder guy to finish in a rally than Djokovic, is there?
No. And Djokovic was actually way back on the baseline there, way behind the baseline, and he came up with that shot with that kind of depth. And that surprised Murray. That's why he missed that. Again, the transition defense from Djokovic. They're way behind his brother in concern, way behind the baseline. Chris, he was able to get the ball back deep and then get in charge of the rally. Once Murray gets pushed back, he's in a lot more trouble and he starts to panic.
Another break point. Try to fight off. Don't say anything. Can't help, he said to his box. Djokovic so relentless. Boris and the camp on their feet. First break of the set.
All right, there's a pretty big difference on the forehand side in their preparation. Let's check out the backhand. I thought this would be a little closer. Let's see. Look at Djokovic. Now look, he's way far back. He's by the Melbourne sign, and even there, he's so compact with his swing, .64. So let's see Murray, who actually in this replay is a little bit closer. He's up on closer to the baseline, and even there, it takes him a little bit longer from a position that's closer to the baseline. Very interesting.
Talked about Maresmo there. The many sources of inspiration for Murray in this event. Internal. He's fueled by the 4 losses here. Djokovic felt that could be a factor. Fraternal. Brother won the doubles.
That's right.
Paternal. But to be a dad, he's going to need all of that and maybe a little help now to try to break right back here. Stay in this set. Keep some belief.
Not a good sit-down change of ends there from Andy Murray on that last one, because he did not stop talking and complaining to the coaching box, his coaching box, and complaining about his forehand.
He's been saying things to them within matches during this tournament. And it's heard to say my forehand's been, parentheses, bad for a couple months and you've done nothing about it. There's Jamie, who's not responsible for Andy's forehand, but does have, we're told, a midnight flight out of Melbourne. So that's 3 hours from now. If it continues on this course,
he'll be fine.
Jamie's going to make his flight.
Continues on this court, Andy might be on that flight.
Oh boy.
Or maybe not.
Reflex that one.
15-13.
I think he just needs a break, obviously, to stay in the set, but I think he needs it in this game. I really do. I don't think if he gets to 5-3 with his state of mind, you wouldn't love his chances.
It's not always how fast you serve, but it's how well you place the serve. And Djokovic's serve placement, particularly wide, has been exceptional and hit closer to his target when he's serving up the middle as well. That's why he's been able to, partly why he's been able to dominate on his own serve. Still only faced that one break point.
Risky play by Murray. But it produces just his second chance to break tonight. And the first was about an hour and 15 minutes ago.
He got away with a fairly poor drop volley, but he done so much good work with his backhand that he had Djokovic so far back.
That's the shot for Murray. Djokovic will challenge, but the call is correct. Murray has battled back on serve at 4-all.
How big is this?
That was a roped backhand, and it did find the court. Just catching the sideline. They love the fight back from Murray here. But he's still just even.
Yeah. And down a set.
Yeah.
Well, he thumped the backhand in that game.
So as Darren pointed out, so negative in that changeover, but still able to kind of push that away and produce some excellent stuff in that game.
Let's.
Djokovic was walking.
Sometimes players react with disbelief at the machine that calls the let. But you cannot challenge that.
No.
You cannot win that argument. Doesn't matter. No let there. That's a bomb. He was really beefed up to serve in this set, as you pointed out, and it's been the reason why he's still hanging in it.
125 on that one. 8 aces in this set. Remarkable number, especially against Djokovic. These two guys are the hardest guys to ace in the world.
Same guy with the flash, I believe, is complaining about
Ladies and
the
gentlemen,
camera.
no flashlight photography, please. Thank you.
Andy notices everything in the arena.
Most of these guys do.
If a spectator has 2 mismatched socks, he wants to point it out.
Well,
you guys can hear this, but the effort that Andy is putting into every single shot compared to the effort Novak is putting in, I'm getting worn out watching Andy.
Doesn't that tell over time?
Yeah, Novak is doing it easily. He's got the aid at this end of a slight breeze, but he's doing it much easier in these baseline rallies. This is taking everything Andy has to get back into this match.
A huge point. Oh, what a return.
It's taking everything he has physically and emotionally, too. And that's part of his problem against Djokovic in these matches. Not only does Djokovic do it with his technique and his movement, but also his attitude. Look at him. He's like a cucumber, cool as a cucumber.
It's like he could be an engine revving at 4,000 RPM. The other guy's got to go at like 7,000.
Yeah.
Red line.
Thank you.
Break point again. Clutch.
He doesn't get a free point on that first serve. He has been in trouble.
Yeah, no, I said last guy, I think he needs a couple aces a game. It's pretty extreme, but that's what it's taking just to hold. Darren, you used the term the other night. You called Murray a street fighter. Well, why do you like that description? Because I think it fits perfectly.
He tries to use anything that's there for him to grab onto to get his teeth into the match. It might be focusing more attention on the other side of the court. It could be an umpire. It could be a guy with a flash in the stands.
Oh.
Interesting, Patrick. I thought Djokovic played that point very safe and sort of baited Murray into missing.
He's played it safe, but he's also solid. And he's making Murray, as Darren said, rightly so, hit a ton of balls, expend a ton of energy. This ball just down the line. And that's a sort of go for broke shot at the wrong time.
And for every one of those backhands up the line that Andy is making, he's missing 3 or 4.
Yes.
So many tight, tense games in this second set.
Almost an hour to get to 4-all.
We're back to normal
Yeah.
between these two. Second serve too for Murray, jammed Djokovic, but he's overhitting that forehand.
Is the stress of this game, you think the physical, mental, creating some poor shot selection, decision making at big moments?
The stress of also what he's seeing on the other side, which is nothing. The guy who's got ice in his veins, who's not rattled whatsoever.
Break point again.
That was huge.
Going back to that play. Thumped cross-court backhand. Hit that 93 miles per hour.
That's big for a huge forehand. So off the backhand side with two hands, that's incredible.
If you're interested, that was his fastest backhand of the match that he just hit there on break point. Oh, it's just exceptional. What timing.
I mean, just keep unloading on that backhand cross court and hit it that clean.
Incredible effort by Murray. Again, a lot of energy to hold. Djokovic to stay in the set next. Well, these guys have battled through some grueling sets in the past, and this is another one. And that, the annals of him, is 62 minutes to play the 9 games.
Please be seated.
And Murray pumping up the ground strokes, especially that backhand.
He realizes that's his only shot, is to just hit bigger.
Djokovic now a must hold in the set with new balls.
Let me serve. Lots of time.
Poor start to the game. Novak broke in his last service game when he really, I thought, could have gotten a stranglehold on things if he'd gotten to 5-3.
So Workman like 115-mile-an-hour serve right to the target. Got the weak reply and then set himself up for the routine overhead. That backhand again on fire in this set.
It's a weapon at times he's really reluctant to use, match in, match out. Go after it like that. Murray's within 2 points of leveling this final.
Big opportunity lost there. Novak is dropping the ball shorter and shorter.
And he continues to mutter, Darren, about his forehand.
And smartly, Novak went back to it because the backhand has been so dangerous.
Jamie trying to offer encouragement. Guys, when you're working as hard as Murray is and you sense at the other end, you don't hear him peep. The guy's barely sweating. I mean, that has to be an uncomfortable feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I don't think Andy's thinking about that at the moment. All he's concerned about is the second set. He'll deal with that and how hard he's having to work if he can win this set.
Well, he'd be right not to worry about it. I just think it seems like human nature. 5-all.
The reason Djokovic gave that big fist bump over to his camp, because he knows that Murray's sort of going slightly out of his comfort zone just to stay in this set. So if he can weather this storm, obviously he's got a huge edge.
Big support from Novak at the moment in the stadium.
Plenty of Serbian flags here. Plenty of people in Melbourne of Serb descent.
Yeah, that's true, but he's also starting to make, you feel like his fan base is growing. Obviously down here with all he's done here, starting to get more and more popular around the world. People starting to respect him and obviously marvel at what he's doing.
I think they've respected him for a few years.
That's
but I think
true.
Coming to appreciate his personality, it's taken a little more time. Fans have had their favorites, before Novak came along. It's hard to shake that loyalty. The guys like Federer and Nadal.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting that Djokovic hasn't had a forehand winner in this set. In fact, he's only hit 6 winners this entire set. We're 21 for Murray.
Only one winner for Novak's been on the ground, Patrick. And the errors are beginning to pop up a little more often.
49.
How much of a relief would this be for Murray to have a rare, comfortable hold?
Let's second serve.
Djokovic doesn't seem to be sure, so Murray will challenge it.
The ball was called out.
They've not had a lot of challenges tonight. Just missed. 40-15.
40-15. Murray has the challenge remaining.
There's his first forehand winner of the set.
40-13.
Novak saying, yeah, you know what, Andy, all the other holds you've had in this set, they've been really tough. We're going to make this one a little tough too.
No easy points.
And let's talk about break point conversion, game point conversion against Novak is an extremely important factor. You just got to close out a service game against this guy when you have the chance. Makes it so tough. Finally.
That is just grueling, Chris.
His legs had to be screaming.
Oh, my goodness.
And now he's got to regroup, and it's 5-all deuce.
Remember, he has one time violation as well.
Good point, Aaron.
36-shot rally, and Murray was the guy doing most of the running, but Djokovic did his fair share too.
Thank you.
Not any easier for Andy. Remember, this was 40 love.
That last point basically won him that point too, because Murray came in way too early in the rally because he was just exhausted from the previous rally.
Just approaching hope, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he almost got away with it.
Djokovic, a chance for a potentially decisive break right here. Just 1 for 7 in the set. Oh, come on. How strong is that from Djokovic? He'll serve for a 2-set-to-love lead.
Djokovic leads 6-5.
Murray's had plenty to say in this changeover. Nothing really positive. Some sarcastic shakes of the head. Whereas Mo's sitting there stone-faced. Everything he's put into this set. An hour and 14 minutes. Constantly struggling to hold a 40-love lead in that last game. Djokovic just toughened up, tightened up, and would not let him go. Yeah, that's pretty daunting. A lot of the numbers are.
Ouch. Jürgen Meltzer, the only guy to beat him.
$15. 15 all.
And Novak's just in lockdown mode now.
13-15.
When he's in lockdown mode, who in the world has a chance? Wawrinka with the big bombs up both sides?
Maybe he can hit the ball bigger if he's on and serve big.
It's hard to think of anybody else who'd even have a chance.
Well, not on this court. At the moment. First double of the match.
You saw Murray, I think, creeping in. Perhaps took a lot off that second serve. His uncle just arrived. With Novak, you can plan to show up just for the final. You can make pretty much make your travel arrangements.
Buy your ticket.
17th straight event that he's entered, making the final. It equals Federer's best streak. Only Lendl has more, but a little frailty here.
Yeah, massive moment. Nervous because he holds serve here. He has one hand on the trophy. Everybody knows it. Players know it.
And he's giving Murray a lifeline. Can he take it?
Thank you.
Only broken once tonight.
Just taking a look at where that first serve landed. Of course, nothing he can do about it now.
It was out, I'm told. He has to stop and immediately challenge. He was hoping Ramos might overrule there, but it missed, and that was a big, big moment.
Especially considering he just doubled twice in a row. Having to hit another second serve there.
A poor miss. And Djokovic now, I dare say, one hand on the trophy. Set point. Capitalize on some nervous serving. Djokovic a lot better in the first, a little better in the second, and a lot closer now to his 6th Australian Open title. Emerson from Queensland won his first Aussie Open title in 1961. And then he went 5 in a row from 63 to 67. Ended up with 12 Grand Slam singles titles. He had the record, remember, until Pete Sampras surpassed him, and then Federer surpassed Sampras. So Djokovic comes in with, in his words, a chance to make history, which is another imperative, end quote, for him in this match. Mo back in the States. Our condolences to him and his family. Suffered the death of one of his sons during this tournament.
Yeah, Anthony Emerson was a fine player. Actually played against him in college. He played at USC when I was at Stanford. Great guy. Left us way too early.
So Djokovic getting into the realm of players like Federer and Nadal, where victories at these big tournaments equal milestones, records. With his 11th Grand Slam title tonight, he would tie the man for whom this building is named, Rod Laver. He's been here, and Bjorn Borg. Laver, it has to be said, obviously missed plenty of majors when the Open era was yet to dawn.
It also has to be said, as you see the Rocket right there, who's it's awesome to have him come back every year. It also has to be said that for many years, 70s and the 80s, that Borg and Connors, my brother, didn't come and play this tournament. It wasn't like it is today. I mean, it was a major in name only.
And the pursuit of major titles above everything else didn't quite exist, the same mentality, right?
No. Well, for a long time, this tournament was played at the end of the year. So it was actually the 4th major of the year. And I remember when Borg was winning the French and then winning Wimbledon, and my brother was playing against him, he said, well, if he wins the Open and then he's going for the Grand Slam, then I'll go to Australia. But it never happened. Borg never won the U.S. Open.
Thank goodness top guys don't skip this tournament anymore.
No, that's definitely. When they moved this tournament from Kooyong, which is a great old club that had the grass courts, to here to Melbourne Park, that's when it started to turn. Oh, boy.
No, he's going to have to battle against what seemed like insurmountable odds, and the problem is he burned a tremendous amount of energy in that set. Only to lose it at the end.
He barely got up for that overhead.
You would not pick against a quick third set here, would you?
No.
Especially if you can't get out of this jam.
Please.
That's why you saw a few little nerves from Novak when he was trying to close this one out at 5-4 in that second set. He knew how important this was.
Oh, what a shot.
Challenge from Murray, but that just seemed to catch the outside of the line, and Murray walked into his chair. Exceptional.
Djokovic doesn't want to quite go all the way just yet, but now he can.
Yeah, I'm sure he's feeling the effects of that set, but he doesn't show it. The first set was lightning quick, a half hour.
Yeah, just in this year already, he's beaten Nadal 6-1 set, Federer 6-1 set, and then Murray in the final 6-1 in the opening set. Second set got way more interesting as Murray started to unleash the backhand. Djokovic able to stay with him, just steadier, more consistent break point here. Finally gets the break to go up 6-5. A little bit of a lifeline for Murray when Djokovic double faulted twice, but succumbed with that forehand, and now it looks like Murray does not have much left in the tank. Oh. By the way, Djokovic had to work hard in that second set too, and you never know it by looking at it.
Remarkable. Not much left in the legs to get up to that one. You can understand why.
Djokovic, the ability to stop and start so quickly and get immediately on balance.
It's early in his career, you would not have said that Djokovic's ability to fight and play for 4 or 5 hours, stay the course, would be a strength. And that's just another component to it. His, the gluten-free diet, which helped in that respect, gave him a little more energy. And you look at his 5-set record in his careers, 26-8. Impossible for his rivals to solve at this moment. Djokovic conceding absolutely nothing. Up 2 sets in a break.
And also, Chris, in these types of conditions that we have now for these night finals and semi-finals, you feel like Novak could play at this level for 5 hours plus. We saw it in 2012 when he played Nadal in the final.
5:53 in that night. We were talking the other day, Darren, on that final, a level of excellence and intensity for the duration we may never see again and never saw before.
Kind of changed the game, right? All the players since then are looking to get to the net. They've improved their net games. They're trying to finish points more quickly and a little reluctant to get stuck on the baseline for those long matches.
I think the tournament changed the conditions a little bit as well, making it a little bit quicker. I don't think they wanted to see that again.
Boris talked about, he thinks one of the things he's brought to Djokovic is the understanding of the need to be more efficient, more offensive. We talked about that. Finish points quicker, finish sets and matches quicker, save your body for the big rounds at the end.
He's taking that to heart. Against Federer, Nadal, now Murray.
15-30.
Yeah, I think that we may never see anything quite like that 2012 final here, where guys, turn themselves inside out for that length of time.
Djokovic is upset he missed that. I mean, it's like he's almost playing against some imaginary opponent. I mean, he's got this match completely under control. And huge serve out wide. He hits it pretty clean, but hits it long. He's ticked off. Wants to keep getting better. How scary is that?
Becker, by the way, said in an interview that he and Novak had just clicked, and much to the surprise of the so-called experts when he was hired, they didn't think it would last a long time. And I wonder what Boris, the commentator, though, would have said about Djokovic taking on a guy so different. He might have
leave
had
that to you, Chris. You got the
he was a commentator for about 10 years before he got into the coaching. I think Boris was excited to see Angie Kerber win last night.
I would think
First
so.
German female champion here since Steffi Graf. You tell Boris you're going to have more Grand Slam trophies as a coach than a player. He probably wouldn't have believed it in a while.
He's getting there. Darn well, yeah.
A šta najviše voliš u tenisu?
Pa najviše volim u tenisu forehand, backhand i voleje. S njim pobeđujemo ove protivnike.
Da li je tenis za tebe igra ili obaveza?
Pa tenis za mene je obaveza.
Šta ti je cilj u tenisu?
Cilj u tenisu mi je da postanem prvak.
Recognize the baby face on the right there. That's 7-year-old Novak Djokovic from Serbian Nickelodeon, or whatever that program was.
He's performing his duties pretty well, I'd say.
Yes, he's right on course.
That's awesome.
A lot of kids say they're going to be #1. But, his conviction was perhaps a little stronger, and he certainly got the skills to back it up.
He didn't mention the serve there, I noticed, but he's picked in at 7. It's hard to win a lot of free points on the serve.
He said backhand, forehand, and volley, though, so he had the rest of it covered.
Yeah.
Now the serve has come along well.
It's caught up.
Amazing what is out there on YouTube.
Andy has his second win here. A little let down after losing that second set, got himself in the hole, looked physically depleted, and last 5 minutes he's just got that second wind.
And it's good to see. I think he's, playing for pride. You lose 9 straight games to close out a slam final a year ago. That had to sting, to say the least.
Well, obviously, he knows at this point how difficult it's going to be to have any chance to come back and win this match. So this effort now is as much about the future as it is about this particular match for Murray. That's the way he has to approach it.
Well, he's going to have a month-long break right after this match.
And I'm guessing some sleepless nights.
It'll be a strange month off, quote, from tennis, won't it?
The new baby.
Murray said he's been reading books about parenthood, and do books cover it, guys? You and Darren stand for that. Everything he needs to know in those books?
Not quite. My wife always tells me I need to read more books, so I'm familiar with that.
That's all.
chance to get back on serve, make this a fight, and just find out if the nerves for Djokovic that popped up when he tried to close out the second will return. It's a faint hope, you have to admit.
That's where it hurts you. You do the work to get to that position, and then you miss a fairly easy shot. He's again talking about the serve. Let's see if we can get the shot spot on that. He wants Carlos Ramos to jump in.
You know, he's right again. He's right again. The serve not called long. That's pretty far back for a linesman. Is right there.
Well, he's right. The umpire should be on that.
Some of these umpires are so reluctant to overrule. They wait for a player to challenge, but on a serve, that's really tough, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, it is.
Djokovic.
On a break point, you get the serve in play, and
so you feel like that's a poor job by Ramos to not be able to overrule those
absolutely, because there was a decent amount of space there, and that's
poor job by the linesman.
Yes.
Let this for second.
The center line is one thing. That's very difficult for the chair umpire to see or overrule there. But the service line, they have a pretty good view of.
Just one little chance taken away, and it's 3-1. 3:30 Eastern on ABC. That's PM. Not our start time down here. NBA Sunday Showcase presented by BBVA. The Bulls against Chris Paul and the Clips. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 3. Also streaming live on the Watch ESPN app. BG can't wait to get home and into a Warriors game.
Yeah. Dubs.
Yeah, the Dubs, excuse me.
Right.
Murray's not wrong. He's talked about what a great achievement it is to reach 5 Aussie Open finals. If he can't somehow turn this around, though, he'll be the first guy to lose 5 finals at one particular major without having won one.
It's like the Buffalo Bills of the Super Bowl. There were 4, right?
Yes.
4 times.
And of course, he has wins in New York and Wimbledon, but just within one major. Nobody's ever gone 0-5. Got to be pretty good to get to 5, of course.
Yeah,
and Murray, how about the fact that he's only played in his 9 Grand Slam finals?
Right.
Djokovic,
15-0.
and Federer. No free passes.
Yeah, that's difficult.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, that is tough.
I mean, 2 guys who will go down as potentially the two greatest. If Novak keeps tracking that way.
The way Novak's going now, he's could be in striking distance of Federer in a couple years.
Did a fiery one, former ESPN guy who used to work with Cliff Drysdale, Fred Stolle, make it through to 4 Wimbledon finals.
But the 5th is the
yes,
the key.
I know.
Yeah, Freddie was 0 for 4. Who were his opponents in those? You remember?
I would imagine there was some pretty good players.
Yeah.
Laver and the like.
Laver had a
Yeah. That's sort of what I thought.
The way Federer is looking, so Djokovic is looking now, he might catch Nadal this year. Of course, that'll be if he won all 4 this year. How about this one, Chris? ESPN.com/Courtcast. Who will win more major titles?
20,000 votes. It's a
Wow.
pretty close call, but this one would just get him within 6. That's a ton of belief and faith in Djokovic's ability to stay hungry, stay healthy, and continue to knock down the young challengers coming up. But why not have that belief?
Right.
The way he's playing now. Imagine how different that vote would have been a year ago here, because Djokovic getting to 10 at the U.S. Open already moved past a list of some all-time greats within the last year.
Yeah, Connors, Lendl.
Now he can catch Borg and Laver, perhaps within just a few games.
Now, good effort by Murray here.
Sure is.
Djokovic leads 3 games to 2.
Well, not surprisingly, Chris, as we check in on our IBM insights for Andy Murray, he hasn't hit any of the marks. 42% was the target of first serve return points. First set wasn't even a contest. Second set got close, still lost it. Third set in trouble there again.
Thank you. Ready for play. Thank you.
Talk about what's the biggest, toughest job to do in tennis. I mean, obviously, when in Laver's year, it was beat him anywhere.
Right.
But then you look at perhaps Sampras at Wimbledon was the toughest job. Nadal at Roland Garros. Federer anywhere. 04, 05. Now, I think it's pretty clear there's no tougher job in tennis than beating Novak Djokovic on this court.
Yeah, that's true. And it's getting to be tough to beat him anywhere.
Oh, no doubt.
You look at where his record last year, of course, the majors, we know about that, winning 3 of them. Getting to the final in Paris, that's the only one he hasn't won, but also dominating the other big events, the Masters events. Again, that's just a working point for Djokovic, but the depth is extraordinary. I mean, that's what you look at his stats. You say, wow, the guy's got 23 winners, 33 unforced errors. I mean, what's he doing that's that great? But he played points like that all the time, where his depth and his just consistency off the ground forces so many. Murray's got 53 unforced errors. They're not really unforced, a lot of them.
No, I agree with that. That's one thing, and it includes the match that Djokovic had 100. they're very tough scorers here. When you see the stats, you go online, you check the stats or matches down here. Oh, both guys played look at the unforced errors.
Right.
I agree with you completely. A lot of these misses are not unforced errors. They're very tough shots, and
they're tough shots, and they're also the knowledge of who's on the other side.
right.
If you don't hit it well, you're going to get burned. You're going to have to run more.
Against Novak, everything is pretty forced. Murray able to create an opportunity to get back on serve. He's done well to battle. Half hour, third set so far.
Yeah, last couple of games he's had chances.
Well, again, on the big points, Djokovic has that little extra gear, and he's got it on the serve. Such incredible placement, and that sets him up. Routine midcourt ball, he knocks off the winner.
That kind of night for the Scots.
Yeah, another break point. He's 1 for 5 as Murray in the match.
Create another chance.
That is the best forehand Murray has hit in the match. One of the few times he's actually run through the forehand. Normally he waits for the ball to get to him. He catches it late, but watch this one. He actually runs through it coming up here, catches it early, takes a little time away from Novak. Perfectly played.
Seems like he's loosened up just a little bit
sure
there
has.
on the forehand side.
Still with some fight left.
Yeah.
Does well to get back to 3-all.
3 games over.
Both breaks for Murray tonight coming after Djokovic was already up a break. So
Yeah, here comes maybe the harder part, solidifying or holding his own serve now.
good point.
That's why Djokovic is so tough. Had a good forehand.
Yep, same type of forehand there as well. See how he moved through that last forehand? Normally he plants and waits and lets the ball come to him. Last couple, he stepped through it. Much better.
15 all.
Oh, yes. Really nicely done there. Right off the bounce again and stepping into it, as Darren talked about. He's loosened up on that side in this set.
So Murray does the tough job consolidating his lead. And now Djokovic behind in the set for the first time. Djokovic, obviously a lot of respect for Murray, but maybe quite a bit by surprise. I think some of us are too, that this has been a real battle that Murray's been able to come from behind, get the break back in this set. He's been incredibly composed tonight, though.
No,
takes a lot more than that to rattle him.
I think we thought, I thought after the second set that this third set would be quick, but give Murray a ton of credit. And now Djokovic, he's got to just regroup again mentally, which he's so good at.
15.
Another aggressive forehand for Murray that sets up the easy volley.
Double. He's going to challenge. So great control of the second serve throughout this tournament. It's just his third, but they've come when he seemingly had things in control.
2 in the game when he served for the second set. Gave Murray a break point opportunity.
14-13.
All from the same end as well, and you can't really blame the breeze because it's kind of died down. So perfect conditions for the players.
cooled down a little bit too, Darren?
A little bit, not too much. It feels like it's around about 58 degrees. Perfect night.
Exactly 2.5 hours into this final.
Djokovic.
4-all.
4 games over.
Last year's final produced 3 competitive sets. The first 2 really grueling. Djokovic getting the break late in the third and then running out a very quick 4th set. And tonight, so far, 2 competitive sets and 1 beatdown. Murray cannot find a way to keep battling. It's hard to escape the notion that they're getting less competitive, the head-to-head matches, at least at majors.
Shot by Djokovic.
I feel like this is going to be a tough game for Murray to hold. Novak had his little wobble for a couple of games and he's back to lock on.
Yeah, smart shot. He handcuffed Murray. Had to play the ball off the bounce.
Trying to shorten some points in the set. Murray's come in a lot. He's been pretty successful net points in the third. Reach back for that. Biggest serve of the night. 132.4. And we had 10 aces in the 4-set final last year, and he's surpassed that. Determined service game for Murray.
Murray leads 5-4.
Noon Eastern on ESPN, the X Games conclude with a huge 5-hour show. Included men's ski slope style final, snowboarder X final, and the women's Superpipe final. Also streaming live the X Games from Aspen. Can Murray find a way to break for the second time in the set and grab it?
Well, he certainly hasn't gone away mentally at all in this set.
When most players would.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 2 sets to love down against Novak Djokovic on this court. Talk about moving through the shot, Darren, on the forehand that Murray and Djokovic just does it so well, so consistently.
His timing has been a bit better than Murray's tonight, and whilst these two guys both use a hybrid version of gut and poly in their strings, Novak uses the faster version with the gut in the mains, and you can really see the difference tonight. Murray uses the gut in the crosses. It's more control, but a little less power.
Just one of those corner-to-corner battles where Djokovic is just so good because he can cut off the angle when you give him something short and take your time away. That's what he did here with this shot. Watch how he gets it early, and he takes that little bit of time away, and he's already back to cover the next one. And Murray feels that. That's why he made that error.
How fresh does he look? They played 200 points in this match. 238. And the dude doesn't look depleted at all. I'm sure he's feeling it, but he doesn't really show it.
Well, he's had those few moments where they've had some grinding rallies where you could see his heart rate was pumping, but his ability to recover, keep himself relaxed, is just remarkable. He's just a finely tuned player. I mean, he's got everything covered. His preparation, his mobility, agility.
He's got his routine down in Melbourne so well. It includes, time spent alone off in nature. He was biking around the other day before this final. He was spotted with his helmet on, very safety conscious.
Right. He better do that.
It's actually a law here in Australia, Chris.
I'm sure it is. He was spotted, kind of weaving in and out of traffic there on South Yard, which not the safest thing to do for a finalist. I think before you got a big job to do.
Very busy street.
Yeah.
One of the few times we've actually seen Djokovic get wrong-footed, get fooled. He was off balance, and Murray took advantage.
Still firing away with those serves. Speed really has not come down off that shot. Another determined hold. Djokovic tries to force a tiebreak next. We try to inform you at all aspects of this final. So the changeover snack for Murray is a banana.
Right.
Novak, dates. He always brings a little container of dates to the court.
He's got his own
Munched on a
stash.
couple. And Djokovic needs to be thinking if he gets a hold, wins a breaker, and be holding that trophy for a 6th time soon.
Thank you. Ready for play. Quiet,
Good
please.
resolve, though, from Murray.
Thank you.
Very good.
And this crowd really appreciates it.
So accurate again with that serve. So quick to get up to that short ball. Zero hesitation. As soon as he sees Murray go to the one hand, he's moving forward already. He's already coming in here. He's starting to pounce. And he gets to that, he gets to the ball just a little bit earlier, so that makes that shot easier. Instead of taking it, below the knee, you take it above the knee. It's an easier shot to hit the winner.
Murray's going to challenge this. Did not challenge a couple of other first serves that were out, as it turned out. Leading one was on break point.
This one's good.
Yeah.
So,
One challenge.
Only the 5th ace for Novak. Surprise approach, Patrick.
yeah, I mean, it's, a couple of things you can take from this match. It's obviously not over, but hit the backhand bigger more often and come to net more often. The guy's an excellent volleyer. He's got long reach. I know he's made his name and all these wins by being defensive and being a great retriever, but he could add this to his arsenal.
Missed it. Tiebreak to decide if the trophy is Djokovic's soon or if Murray can prolong this final.
Players receive one additional challenge. Thank you. Ready for play. Thank you. Murray challenging the ball.
Murray will spend a challenge.
Got an extra one for coming into the tiebreak, so he has 2 left.
Trying to guide that second serve in.
Just missed it. That's only his 4th double of the match. He's served awfully well these last 2 sets.
Murray has one
Keep
challenge.
himself in with a chance.
Djokovic challenging ball left center service line, ball spelled out.
Novak has 3 challenges left.
Murray taking a long look at the mark. And the official review says it's good.
Two points to love now for Djokovic.
Djokovic. Led for serve.
Djokovic going back to the Murray forehand. That's been the shakier wing throughout this match. Nice comfortable 3-love lead now in the tiebreak.
Norman Brooks was a terrific Aussie player early 1900s. The trophy is named for him. Djokovic's name is all over it. Close to a 6th title.
Djokovic.
Oh boy. It's a shame, Patrick, this tiebreak's begun this way for Murray, because he showed so much resolve in this 3rd set against what seemed like impossible odds, battling back. But it's been a terrible breaker.
Yeah, 2 doubles in the breakers. Killer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not one single piece of wasted energy from Novak Djokovic tonight. He's been magnificent.
So many things to admire about his game there, and that perhaps is underappreciated, because that wasn't the case early in his career. But efficiency, people sometimes say machine-like.
Well,
it's meant as a compliment.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. Also, Becker coming in to make him be more aggressive, be more efficient, and you saw an example in this match. In the opening set, Murray had to expend so much energy in the last couple of his matches. Now, sometimes, obviously, that happens in majors, but that's the reason why, because Djokovic coming in so fresh physically. Obviously, he had the 5-setter with Simone. That was his one tough match.
A string of championship points for his record-tying 6th Australian Open title.
Thank you. Thank you. Djokovic. Six, three, Djokovic.